Hey, welcome to Lost Canuck Barbecue. I'm Todd, obviously, and I'm the Lost Canuck. So, hey, first of all, I'm glad you like my Judge Smales hat. If you don't know what that is, check out Caddyshack. It's a good laugh. Anyways, and P.S. I got a free bowl of soup with this hat. Anyways, so I got my cooking hat on, which obviously means I'm going to do some cooking. So today, we're going to do beef tri-tip like a brisket. Okay, so I got a couple of tri-tips from Porter Road. They're pretty close in weight to each other, and I'm going to face them off on my two pellet grills, on the one Blaz'n Grand Slam grill, and the other one I'll run on my Louisiana Grills Founders Premier 1200. Okay, they're very close in weight. They're about 0.1 pounds apart from each other. This one's 1.72. This one's 1.82. So these are nice cuts of meat. They're tri-tips and they are prime. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's what a tri-tip looks like. And again, they're from Porter Road, and I'm not sponsored or anything. They just happen to have a good meat sale going, so I bought a couple. All right, so let me open the packages up, blot them off a little bit, and then add my rubs and my binder. And we'll go over the rubs and binder for the beef here in a second. So let's see if I can do this without making a giant mess, because my videographer would appreciate that. Okay. All right, so there's one. Packaging garbage. Blot that off a bit so we're not super wet. I might have to trim this a little bit. The really thin parts will, there's some hard fat on here. You can see that. So there's a little hard fat here. Trim the tip off here. Get rid of some of this hard fat on this one. So just trim the tip a little bit, just like that. Cut some of this, trim some of this fat off without cutting my fingers off. There's that, and then you can feel it with your fingers. So that's that hard, what do they call it, decal fat or whatever. I'll just trim that up a little bit so it's not so tough, fatty. Oh yeah, we got some silver skin on here. We got to trim off a little bit, so we get that. Some of this fat off. Now, I'm no means an expert. I'm just your average everyday Joe, or Todd. So again, try and trim this, take some of this fat off. And doing a little tri-tip like this usually takes, I don't know, it's not as long as a brisket, so I'd say 8 hours or so by the time you're finished. There, that looks not bad. You want to leave a little fat on here for tenderness. Okay, so we'll take off some of this weirdness that I've created here. There. Nice. Okay, so that's getting better. Cut some more of this hard fat off. It just doesn't render out nicely and cook nicely, so. And you want your tri-tip to be nice and tender. All right. It's not so bad. There's a big thick piece here. And it's important to have a sharp knife, which I do not, but maybe later in our series we'll talk more about barbecue tools and what you can get. But boning knife, fillet knife, whatever you got. You know, you don't. It's like I said, I'm not an expert, and you don't have to be either. This is a pretty simple way to do it. Okay, so I left a little fat on there. And it's well marbled, so I'm not wrecking it or nothing. That looks pretty good. Cut this weird part off here, this little fin. Make it a little more aerodynamic for airflow. Okay, so that's one. Remember, it was almost 2 pounds, so I probably trimmed, I don't know, maybe half a pound off there, so maybe it's down to about 1.5 pounds. It's a nice piece of meat though. It's not too bad. Okay, so there's the one. And get the other one out. This one looks way more trimmed. This one actually looks a lot nicer than that first one. And again, when you order this stuff online, it's a crapshoot sometimes on what you get. But Porter Road generally has been pretty good to me. I also like the Snake River stuff, but they weren't having a big beef sale on at the time. So look, I'm going to trim some of this hard fat off the bottom. The top's pretty decent. I don't have to trim much off of here, but you can see this part here. And I know you can't feel it on the video, but it is very tough and hard. Okay, so that's what I like to do, is try and get under it a little bit, get this close down without taking tons of meat off. Took a bit off there. Well, sorry about that. Okay, now trim that a little bit. Okay, and then once you get into the kind of less hard fat, it's easier to trim. And you don't want to take all of it off because you want a little bit of it to render it out and make it juicy. Okay, but you want to get some of that fat off, the hard stuff, and this stuff here. There. You can see it coming right off. Some of the silver skin still on here, so it makes it easier to pull off. There we go. There's a big chunk. Not bad. Cut that part off so it's not too thin. And again, you want to, it's easier when you have a sharp knife. This isn't the sharpest. You know what? Complaining isn't going to help. Okay, so some of these little scaly pieces off there. There, not so bad. So now that we have them nicely, get this little piece off here. There, okay, there's 2 tri-tips. They're actually trimmed out to approximately the same weight now. I'd say maybe 1.5 pounds a piece. Throw that out in the garbage, and we'll go to our seasoning section. So let me get some more gloves. After that trimming, and again, these gloves are get them from Sam's. You can get them anywhere. You know, they don't have to be blue, they can be black, whatever color you like. And so I'm gonna do 2 different types of seasonings because that shouldn't affect the face off on the smoke sticking and everything. This one is Spiceology prime rib rub, and there's a lot of garlic and pepper in here, like that. And this one's a meat church rub, Blanco. It's for beef, and also it's got pepper, garlic, etc. So we're going to use those. Now for binder, I have, typically for beef here in the United States, you use Worcestershire sauce, okay, W sauce. Since hey, I'm the lost Canuck, being true to my roots, I'm going to use HP sauce from the Empire, okay. Originally it's from the UK, but since I'm from Canada, we get it there too. You know, God rest the Queen. So anyways, HP sauce, you can get this in the United States at your grocery store. It'll be in the international aisle. But I happen to have probably illegally imported this into the United States when I drove over. So you just put a little bit on the top as binder, okay? Again, if you can't find HP, use Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so just rub it in a bit. And again, if you don't like this as a binder, heck, you know, beef, you can use pretty much anything. Worcestershire is my second, you know, it's a very strong second. More on there. But believe it or not, HP goes good on ribs too, but that'll be another episode. So, but you just get it worked in, you know, not too much, not too crazy. Okay, you want to try and get all the sides, all the parts. There, so there's 1, 2, okay. And what we're going to do after we add the add the rub is we're going to put these back in the fridge overnight. It's called dry brining, and it lets everything, your spices and your rub and everything, just kind of soak in. So here's the prime rib rub by Spiceology. Okay, I think I picked this up at Costco. Okay, then you just want to pat it in after you put it on there. Okay, now some of it's going to fall off, so it's not a big deal. All right, so there's the one side. And then you just shake it, not an inch thick or anything, but just enough to coat all the surfaces there. Okay, so there you go. We're patting, just like that. All patted down. There's one. Okay, finished. Okay, we're going to leave that in. Okay, now that was the Spiceology rub. A little lighter one, a little more salt and pepper and garlic, which I kind of like. This is Meat Church Blanco. So we're going to just coat that nicely on the surfaces. There's that one side. And we're just going to pat it in like that, like so. Pat, pat, pat. And then we'll get her out on, well, we'll dry brine it overnight, but through the magic of technology, you won't know that. And I'll bring it out to the grill, out to the 2 pellet grills tomorrow. Okay, so there's patting it down. Get the top a little bit here. There. And here, side didn't get any. Okay. Tipped a little bit, that's okay, it's going to dry out anyways. Okay, so we brined. We're rubbed up. We got all of our rubs on. We're going to put her in the fridge. The lid on. Let's see, did I get all the? Yep, got everything here. And that's this section of the tri-tip face-off. So I'll see you at the grill in the morning. We'll put these on for about 8 hours, and we'll see which grill smokes better, gives you a better smoke ring. Is it the Grand Slam by Blaz'n? Is it the Louisiana Grills by Louisiana Grills? It's the Founders Premier. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Hey, and if you like this first part, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I see some of you guys have liked my hat, so I like it too. And thanks. None of my videographer doesn't like it. And anyways, like Vince Vaughn says, after we're done this and we taste it, it's going to be so money. So take care. Have a good one. Hi, welcome back to Lost Canuck Barbecue. It's the next day. Sunny, beautiful day here. Don't go blind looking at the sun. Here in Wisconsin. And it's the showdown between the Blaz'n Grand Slam grill and the Louisiana Founders Premier. So I'm going to put one tri-tip on each grill, each pit. Smoke them for probably, they're small, so 6-7 hours. 6 hours for sure. Wrap them, put them back on, pull them at 205 internal, and then we'll slice them, and we'll rust them, and then we'll slice them and see if there's any difference, and I'll ask my taste testers if there's any difference. So that's the plan, and I'll throw the first one on the Louisiana since the meat's already over here. Now I'll do a full review of my Louisiana Founders Premier 1200 here in a later video, but it's 1200 square inches. I decided to add the side shelf here because it's really helpful. So just get the tri-tip on and then put a probe in it. I'm going to do 2 probes. I'm going to do my Thermal Pro wireless, and then I'm going to do the wired with the controller so I can monitor over the internet. So I will put the Meat Church Blanco one in here. You usually want to probe the thickest part, because that's the longest to cook. You don't have to go in that far. Just a little ways there. Okay, and I kind of know where the hot spots are, but I'll do a biscuit test and show you. But over the fire pod here is very hot, so I'm going to just put it over the medium area. Okay, so there's. Hold on, I gotta put another probe in there. So hang on.
Leave your gloves on.
Yeah, I'm getting stuff all over the place. The other wireless probe in. I think these are a little more accurate than the grill one. Okay, that's that. You can see it smoking. Oh, and I've used the same kind of pellets in each grill. So I'm smoking with, today I purged them and I put in Bear Mountain 100% hickory. These are them and Lumberjack are the same company, but these are good quality pellets. Low ash. Okay, so there's that. And you can see it's smoking. Since I had the lid open quite a bit, it's dropped. I have them both set at 200. The pits are both set at 200, which is optimum for smoke. This one's dry. Oh, now it's coming back up. That's good. Okay. And the burn pot on the Louisiana is a little different than the Grand Slam. I'll go over that in the review, but the burn pot on the Louisiana is lower. It's got a short auger, so that's helpful for not having any burn back. Okay, it's set at 200, and it's smoking. Take the wired temp probe, shove it into the. This is a little thinner one, so let me go in over here. And I can feel that. That's good. Okay, that's about the core. And I think the hot zone was here and the cooler was here, so I'm just going to put this right in the middle. You'll notice these are they run fairly quiet, these pits. There. Whew. Getting smoke in my eyes. All right. So I'm going to spritz these in the beginning every 30 minutes or so, just so the smoke really sticks and makes a nice bark. So I'll come out and spritz a little bit, and then I'll see you back here probably in around, they're small, maybe 5-6 hours. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you here in a few minutes. Take care. Okay, well, we're back outside again. Just going to do a little spritzing. There's the Blaz'n smoking away. There's the Louisiana smoking away. So we'll start with the Blaz'n. Give her a little spritz. Make sure it's nice and moist. Looks good. Looks like she's smoking. Okay. That'll give her some bark. Now we'll go over to the Louisiana grill. And she's pretty smoky in here too. Get some Spritz on there. All right. Hi, welcome back. So the internal temperature on this one reached 165, way faster than the Blaz'n, the Louisiana Grills. Now I have my suspicion that the displayed temperature and the actual temperature are a little off. So anyways, I'm going to pull this one and then wrap it and then put it back on. So what you do is you pull it. Actually, I got my meat gloves on here. And you just pull the probe out. We're going to leave the wireless one in. Ooh, this looks good. And just going to pull the wireless or the wired probe out because we're not going to need that anymore. Oh, look at that, we got a little bit of lawn clippings on there. It's pretty windy out here. Let's bring this up to, oh, I don't know, probably 250. Oops. $250. Okay, so I'm going to take it inside. We're going to wrap it. Let's take a look at the other one just for a second before I go back inside. See how it's doing. Oh, it looks great. Nice bark on it. But the internal temperature on this guy is only 148. So we're a little ways away from pulling it. I like to pull them at about 160, 165. So now we're going to go inside into our next segment of wrapping. Hi, well, we're inside. I'm going to wrap the tri-tip in some butcher paper. Internal temperature hit 165. So you just take your meat, put it over on the butcher paper on the side. And what I like to do is butter is just as good. I got a heck of a deal on this clarified butter, which is known as ghee. So I'll put a little on the bottom on the paper, like that, and then we'll put a dollop, oops, a little dollop on top. Now, if you have tallow from other cooks, you could do that too. But I'm lazy, so I'm just using some clarified butter. And this is that's the stuff I'm using. It's from Costco. All right, so let's wrap this up. So I'm going to wrap the probe in there. Okay, and that's it. So we're going to head back out to the grill and put this on. Hi, back at the grill. You can hear the plinkety plink plink. That's the pellets going into the burn cup. But we've wrapped this and we're going to put this back on the grill and then pull it at 205 internal temperature. And then you let it rest for a little while in a towel, in a cooler. You can put it in your stove. We're just going to put this back on right there. It's nice and smoky. And let her rest. Okay. So that's that one. And the other one is a little behind, so we'll have to wait for that. Hi, it's me again, Lost Canuck. And my Blaz'n's now hit 165 internal temperature, so I'm going to pull the tri-tip off, wrap it, and put it back on until it hits 205. I don't think this one runs as hot. Like when it tells you it's 200 degrees or 250, it's actually that temperature. I think the Louisiana runs a little hotter than what I think that you set the temperature at, but we'll know when I do the biscuit test, etc. later. So let me pull this off, go and wrap it, and then I'll throw it back on and we'll be slicing soon. See you in a minute. Probably don't recognize me because, hey, I forgot my hat inside, but we'll get it in the next segment. So here's the tri-tip. I'm going to pull the probe out, take it out, put it on the tray. Oh yeah, it's got some nice bark on it. And I'm going to pull the wired probe out. Ooh, hot. It's hot.
Put your gloves on.
Yeah, probably a better idea. Glad the videographer's smart. Okay. There, and we'll take that in and wash it as well.
Look how smoky this grill is.
Yeah, it really smokes. I'm pretty happy with it. So, again, made in the USA. Good stuff. See you inside. Back, pulled the tri-tip. Just gonna put some ghee on the paper. Spread it around a bit. All right. That's good. And then we'll put the tri-tip on the top. That on top. There we go.
Chase.
And we'll soak into your meat, making it nice and tasty and tender. Okay, all done with that. All done with our ghee. Now this stuff, you don't store after you open it. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. Okay. In fact, if you put it in the fridge, it turns into like rock hard stuff. So I like to seal the lid tight and then store it like that. So I'm going to wrap this. In butcher paper. Fold it a few times. Okay. And then just like a brisket, we're going to pull this when the internal temperature reaches 205. So I have my wireless probe in there, put it back on the grill, and the other one's ready to pull. So let's go out and pull that off, wrap it in a towel, and just leave it set in my oven for a while to let it rest. So I'm back. I'm going to pull the internal temperature of this has reached 205. I'm going to pull it and let it rest. So that was it wrapped in the butcher paper. Take this, pull it out, bring it inside, wrap it in a towel. I can let this cool down. This is smoking pretty good too. We'll turn it down. Turn it down to 180 before I put it in cool down mode. Alright, so this thing's going to go back down to 180. That's the lowest that this Louisiana grill will go. I like to just let the pellets burn off that way, and then you put it in off and it'll go into cool down mode, blow out, burn off the rest of the pellets, and then it shuts itself off. So see you inside. We'll wrap her up in a towel, put it in the oven for just to hold it there for rest, and be right back. Here we are upstairs again. Just gonna, I don't need this. It's not too bad. I'm gonna take this, just wrap it up in a towel for resting. I'll just wrap it up. This creates a thermal barrier to. And what I do is I just put it in the oven, not on, but put it in there to because it's insulated. It's like putting it in a cooler. There. All right, so we're gonna let that rest for. Well, I can check the internal temperatures, but it was 205 when I pulled it. It was still creeping up a little bit, probably 207. I'll take it out of the rest when it's back down to about 160. Slice it. Hopefully our other one's done by then and we can slice them at the same time. So we'll see you up at the cutting board. Hi, welcome back. Well, we've rested the tri-tip, the first one out of the Louisiana Grills. So I'm going to unwrap it and hopefully catch some of the juice. Okay, so again, the first one was the small one. so it really cooked out a lot. There it is. Get out of the package. And we've let it rest for about an hour and a half. And there's nothing to catch there. Alright, so pull the meat probe here. So this one is the Louisiana Grills. Now let me go get the other one from the Blaz'n. All right, here's the second tri-tip. This is off the Blaz'n. I'll just quickly unwrap this. Take it out. It's a little bigger one. It's a little hotter. Okay, so we will cut into the Louisiana Grills one first and see what it looks like. So that's the way it comes out of the package. And that's against the grain, so that's this way. So you always want to cut your beef against the grain. Well, it's cooked for sure. Looks like it's pretty moist. Not a bad smoke ring on there. You can catch that. And then we'll take a sample, a little piece here. Oh yeah, that's pretty decent. Not bad. Still, I don't know if you can see that, it's juicy. Still juicy. Moist, it's nice, tasty, bit of a smoke ring. Okay, so that was the Louisiana Grills. And this one is from the Blaz'n. Which way the meat grains go. You can see that. A little more pronounced smoke ring, but not terribly pronounced. Looks good. And I got a pretty thick slice there. Helps if they have a sharp knife. Oh, yeah. That's pretty. Should have rested this one a little longer. I'm not, so between the two, there really isn't much difference. Maybe it's the rub I'm tasting. But anyways, that's how you make a really simple tri-tip like a brisket, poor man's brisket. Doesn't take as long. I like the rub on this one better. Anyways, Lost Canuck, thanks for tuning in. This is pretty delicious stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.